Alright everyone, this is episode number 89 today for the Chinese Grand Prix of Season 5. If you missed the previous episode at Australia, I recommend you go and check that one out before watching this one, because spoiler alert, we still lead the World Championship, but we only managed to P4 at Melbourne after a poor qualifying, really, coming through the grid. There to finish P4 with the better strategy of medium to soft there. So 6-point lead. Unfortunately, our return to China has been met by some rain. It's going to be a wet qualifying, and there's going to be rain in the race as well. So yes, and R&D wise, well, I mean, flat line. Yeah. There should be more upgrades. It's as simple as that. We should, all more R&D resets. It's as simple as that. So moving to qualifying then. Now, obviously China, a track that I haven't driven on a career mode since F1 2019. I've done races here since, but this is the first driver career mode episode since 2019. For me, so it's been a while. I don't know how we're going to get on. Sector 1 is such a horrible, lazy corner. I hate that corner as well. And then we come out this first sector, that corner, and you come up to this bit, and they built that thing on the right, which was so much better, because this corner is also another horrible corner. The other little bit there on the right there is so much more pleasant. It's actually a more open corner. This is the corner that used to get the pad not responding on the game, so you just keep on turning left instead of turning right as well. Another lazy corner, trying to get the traction down here out that corner. It's a horrible little curb there. 1 second up on our previous best time as the conditions improve, with 3.5 tenths up on Schumacher as we come now through to this horrible, again, another not pleasant corner. So I don't particularly enjoy this track, never really have done, but here we go, 1.5 seconds almost up now. So you go down the back straight. No DRS enabled just yet, but we have got, of course, ERS as well. Braking to this horrible corner, always requiring first gear as well. The AI will always out traction you out that corner, especially on this year on F1 22, and that's at the final corner up to the line, and it's P11. So yeah, not too bad, not as good as Saudi, but nonetheless not bad. Not as bad as Australia as well, where we were P13. Now, of course, though, our teammate still down there in P14. So half a second off is about where we should be. So we'll have to wait and see what we can do. It's time for the race. It's time for the Chinese Grand Prix.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once again. A race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Tsunoda, Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Albon, Gasly and Phoenix. Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon, George Russell and Ticktum, Magnussen, Joe, Mick Schumacher and Lance Stroll, Schwartzman and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out. So let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
So here we are down the grid. Race strategy. I did think about doing the no stop on Inters. There's a heavy rain icon at the end as well, so we could see full wets if that comes early as well. But I decided we're in a good car, we might as well just start on the softs as well. We don't need to risk it. So 5 lights are out and away we go. The usual disastrous start, I must say, as Leclerc with his penalty comes along. So I'm dying on the inside, one of the Alpha Tauris there. Now I'm going to try and go around the outside of Hamilton and even Verstappen. There's no room down there. We are going to get Hamilton. Warning for a little bit of contact with Hamilton. We have made some positions up to P7 and go P8, excuse me, as we defend from Gasly, and that allows Hamilton to come back past. I'm checking the weather, and it's close. I'm starting to think that perhaps I should have just risked it on Inters, because already at the end of that one was dark down the inside of Verstappen. There's a hairpin, comfortable, easy move there as well. I didn't want to give me this space for Verstappen, but I mean on this off-board shot you can see it's not quite raining yet. So although if we had started on Inters, they probably would have burned up in this early phases. It's 2 Ferraris and 2 McLarens at the top as well. Although it's a little bit wetter on Hamilton's on board, that might be that little glitch as well. He makes an overtake on Gasly as well, who got him back. So those two are going to carry on battling. So this is fantastic. But it's okay for me. It means there's a little bit of a gap. We want to box early for Inters as well. Gasly getting the elbows out, has the inside line. Now Hamilton keeps his foot in, and they're just going to carry on going side by side through the middle sector as well towards the final section. Finally, Hamilton's passed. They've been side by side for 2/3 of the lap as well. Meanwhile, far ahead is our race leader is Lando Norris in the McLaren. Vettel is second and Tsunoda is third. Yuki has not had a podium so far in the series. Sainz is actually the one in fourth in the mud in the McLaren, in the Ferrari, excuse me. Piastri and Albon fifth and sixth. I was looking to carve through them as well, but now, we are coming into the pit because DRS was disabled there, and it's time to make our stop. Lap 3. So, in hindsight, perhaps starting on Inters and just dealing with the pain would have been better. Leclerc actually lost a bit of his front wing at turn 1, had to pit early. If I was him, he got front wing damage, I would have gone straight to Inters, because he is going to be stone dead last as well. He's already had a DNF as well at Saudi, excuse me. Obviously that's going to be disappointing for Leclerc, who's not going to get points here. And we've closed up to Piastri, but we're still in front of Verstappen. But there's still people out there as well. We'll have a quick look at Piastri through turns 1 and 2. Nothing doing there. And the Australian at our former team holds on. And that's Vettel wide. And they slipped behind Latifi, who's still out there on slick tyres. What are they thinking of? As well, Vettel's all over the back of the Canadian in the house there. And he's going to have a look down the hairpin. Can we have a look at Piastri here, down the inside, try and take advantage? We could pass Piastri there, but then look at that joke of a traction that Piastri gets out the final corner. That is completely a joke. The player's not able to match that at that corner, and Piastri is up to P3 or up to P4 because Tsunoda and Sainz have lost out. Verstappen's up to 5th as well. We're having a look at Piastri through turn 1 and 2, unable to make it past our former teammate there from seasons 4 and 5. Now we're trying to get past Piastri again. The problem is that Piastri, of course, has the Porsche power unit. You know, it's we know, because we built that power unit to be a rocket ship in a straight line, but maybe a bit too much power in the way, because we're going to dive down the inside of Piastri and move up to P3. To be fair, the Mercedes power unit has been improving, but this was a lovely move. This is a bog standard textbook dive bomb at that corner, late on the brakes, making sure that he doesn't this time out traction us at that corner as well. I've gone a little bit too deep, but I was going to try and catch Vettel, got to within about a second, and then the rain started getting heavier and he just pulled away. Piastri started reeling me in as well. Verstappen's been fighting. I think Verstappen's had an issue. Norris has won the race. Excuse me. So it's Lando Norris who wins this Chinese Grand Prix for McLaren Honda. I don't think, you know, did he win in season 5? I don't think he did win in season 5. But to be fair, we had no pace. Even the dry set a 34.0. We had only set a 34.9. And look at our teammate, a 38.1. But Tickton has finally contributed to the Constructors' Championship with 1 point. Leclerc, to be fair, did recover to beat Stroll, but, you know, that was too much for him in the end. And as a result, his only point so far came from that win in Australia last time out. So Lando Norris takes the lead of the championship, 2 points, not too bad. A little bit frustrated we couldn't get Vettel. I think we could have got Vettel. Vettel actually that's his first points of the season. And you see, although Tickton has contributed, we're still struggling in the constructors. So we have beaten Russell, so we leave our rival against him 20-9. So we should be able to comfortably win that rivalry as well and get a little bit more acclaim. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I see plenty more F1 22 drive camera videos as and when they come up. The next episode will be Imola, so that'll be out on Monday. So until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.